we are live with the High Vibes podcast number 2. We got the dogs barking in the background, so you know that it is real. It is real with the dogs barking in the background. I got a water heater being replaced in my house right now as well, so that's part of the fun. Welcome to the High Vibes Hour.
Number 2.
Number 2.
The High Vibes!
There we go. I forgot what I did.
The High Vibes! High Vibes! It was really good. I enjoyed it. Justin said he wanted to tell a story.
I do. I have a nice little intro story. If you listened to the last podcast, this will make sense. If you didn't, then
so if you didn't
you're
go
missing
back.
out.
High Vibes, the British Invasion.
Yeah,
Did you
the
guys
British
like that title?
Invasion.
Do you like that title? Okay. All right, go.
It's good. It's good. Okay, anyway, so like, we ended the last podcast with the British Invasion, right? How like, you know, all the crazy stuff at Cowgirl with all the British people. Well, today, like, give a little background. It's my first day starting this new job at a coffee shop, and I took it on purpose. It was like, oh, perfect, just chill, no problems, just like hanging out. You know what I mean? I can do whatever I need to do because there's usually like no one in there. And it's my first day alone, not training with anyone. You're getting really close to me, Jake. I don't know if I appreciate that.
I want to be in the shot.
Anyways, so first day, not training, just there by myself. No one else is there. And I'm like, okay, I'll probably have like, you know, a couple people come in here and there. Thursday, whatever. And I don't know, about an hour into the shift, like 10 people show up at once. I'm like, fuck.
Are you by yourself?
Yeah, I'm completely by myself. And 10 people show up at once, and I'm brand new to making coffee and all the like fancy drinks and shit. Turns out, all 10 of them were from London.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you play London Love?
Huh?
Did you play London Love?
I wish, dude. That would have been great. No,
That's
so anyways,
crazy.
all 10 of them were just like these British people from London going on a road trip, like through the country, and they just happened to stop in El Dorado, Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is like 15 minutes outside of Santa Fe, to get coffee.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
And then like on top of that, like 7 more people showed up, and there's this massive line running out the door. I'm just like flying around trying to
like
make
your
this
first day
Yeah,
ever.
my first day. And keep in mind, like the owners and like everyone that's been there's like, oh yeah, it's super chill. You have a couple people, don't worry about it, you know. And then I'm like, there's like 15 people out here. I need to like make espresso drinks all for right now as fast as I can. Bagels and
Dude,
scones
that's
and like,
hilarious.
and it was funny because it wasn't just like easy stuff either. It was like they all wanted like cappuccinos, mochas, like there was like
Yeah.
vanilla cardamom lattes, like chai lattes, and it wasn't just
Whoa.
like iced coffee or cold brew or whatever. You know what I mean?
It was like super special.
It's like 15 Jakes walked in
exactly. It's
and
like
wanted
15
their
Jake's walked in.
frilly drinks.
I had like cold brew with foam on it, and you were like, black. I want it black, bro. Like when we recorded, in Albuquerque.
If it ain't black,
Or if- I
it
know,
ain't right.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
So anyways,
dude, that's crazy,
that's
man.
nuts. To conclude
Did
that
you,
short
did you
story.
tell him about the crazy? You probably didn't have time to tell him
No,
about
God,
the
no.
gig.
I only talked to one dude for a little. Like he was just standing there waiting as I was like getting his drink
Yeah.
to him, and I was just like, "Hey, where are you guys from?" Because they had British accents, and he was like, "Oh, we're from London. We're just traveling through here." I'm like, damn, that's freaking crazy. So, anyways, moral of that story. I guess not moral, but just like crazy thing about the story. I think British people are following me. To be honest,
I think so.
yeah, I think
It's
it's
a
just a
sign.
thing. It's a
Very
sign.
cool
And then
people. The
well,
British
look,
Invasion Part 2.
the British Invasion Part 2. And the funny thing is, like later on that day, like it was just 2 ladies came in, and one of them was British as well. I was like, what the hell?
Do you just ask people their ethnicities when they come in? Like,
well,
wait,
they talk to me, and I'm like, they have
Yeah.
British accents, and I'm like, well,
That's really funny, man.
vanilla latte for the Brit.
for the Brit.
What did they order, like weird stuff, or did you know everything they were saying?
Well, I knew everything they ordered just because I like knew the menu, but
you know
because
how to make everything.
I know how to make everything. It was just like stuff that I'm only one person. There's only one espresso machine. Like I can
Yeah.
only make one thing at a time. So having all of them ordering something at once, I'm like,
Rise off.
God,
You have
and
to
then-
take the order, and then so like the first person doesn't get their order till you've taken 10 orders.
no. I wasn't gonna do it like that.
Oh,
I'd maybe
okay.
take like
Yeah,
one or
cool.
two, because otherwise that I would be like, oh
You
shit,
wouldn't
what did that person
remember.
order again? Like,
Right.
no. I'd take one or two.
Should you
But
like write it down on a ticket, and it's like being printed out.
you'll see when you come. It's like tiny.
It's so
little place.
tiny.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just
yeah.
memorizing it.
Yeah.
Did anybody order an Americano?
Yeah,
Just like-
there was one Americano in that group. The what was I gonna say? Yeah, there was like the first 2 people that ordered. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take 3 orders at once. I'll get those 3 up, and then I'll get the next people. And first one was like, can I get an iced vanilla latte? I was like, okay. And then it was like chai latte with oat milk, and I was like, okay, those are 2 people, they paid. And then the next person comes up, and then he's like, oh, can I get a chai latte as well? So I needed to make 1 chai latte with oat milk, 1 with regular milk, and then a vanilla latte as well. Like all, I don't know. So it just gets so mixed up because like all the different types of milk as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Life of a barista, man.
Yeah.
Right?
It'll get
That's
easy.
crazy.
That was just like a
Yeah.
crazy day. And then when I like traded off my shift at like noonish to the next guy, I was telling him, I was like, yeah, there was like a crazy amount of people that came in today, and he was like, oh, I've never seen that here. And I've been working, he's like, I've never seen that here, and I've been working here for like 5 months. That's hilarious. And I was like, of course, the one fucking day that I'm just like my first day.
Right. Did you recently give up caffeine too?
Yeah, dude.
So
Which is ironic because I'm like, because there's 2 days or something like that where I had like crazy headaches because I didn't have any caffeine, and I was like, I need to stop drinking caffeine. So it's a little ironic. I work at a coffee shop and don't drink caffeine.
I have a friend who's a barista, and she says like her favorite part is like trying out the shots.
Yeah, I mean they're
Right.
delicious, but it's
Just
like
getting a crazy caffeine rush while she's at work.
Yeah, that'd be. Oh, you were gonna say something, Saunj?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you're lifting the mic to
there's something on my shoulder.
to speak your words. Okay.
Cleaning my shoulder.
Okay.
But I can't have caffeine because I'll freak out.
Yeah, you do.
I
One
get
day
all-
when we played in Boulder, and you were like,
You had a
so,
year.
wasn't that Boulder when you were
Yeah.
like, so you're like, dude, what's happening? Are you okay, man? He's like, I shouldn't have had that.
My brain was going way too fast.
That was just a yerba mate, right?
Well, no, it's fun.
No.
No, it was coffee.
No,
It was
he had coffee.
Oh,
I
you
had
had
Yerba
actual
mate
cold
doesn't
brew
mess
with a
you up.
shot.
Which
yeah.
is that's
Yeah.
funny to me that yerba mate doesn't mess you up, but coffee does because yerba mate has way more caffeine
I
than
know
coffee.
it's so weird.
Maybe it
but
just gets delivered in your system
How-
slower.
Maybe, yeah.
maybe
I
it's
take
like,
yerba mate rectally, so
Oh yeah, those
I
enemas. Yeah.
can't do coffee that way. It's
The
doesn't
coffee
hit me the
enemas, yeah.
same.
suppository.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, coffee enemas.
But
are
I
real, though.
I can read minds after so many cups of coffee. It's not cool.
yeah, you
It's
just
my
you
own
just-
Yeah.
mind,
you just
but-
go in this depression mode because you're like, I know everyone's thoughts.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, I remember the one semester I went to college in Nashville, Belmont. Shout out to Belmont. The one semester I went there, I never drank coffee in my entire life. I never drank
Really?
coffee. I never drank coffee until I was 17, or I guess I turned 18 at that point in college. My roommate was really into it, and he had one of the Keurigs, and so I like would drink it in the morning. And I remember one day, like after class at like 3 or something, just like laying on the floor in the middle of the lobby, being like, I'm fucked up. I'm not okay. People were like, what's wrong with Jake? And he's like, he drank so much coffee. And like my body had never had it. Like maybe like it wasn't, I just never, maybe like a sip here or there, but I just didn't like the taste. I didn't know how to like do it right at that point. This was 18 to have had like a real like dose of coffee, and I was messed up. And I was like, never again.
It feels like an OD, you know.
Yeah, when you drink too much, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I
die.
if I like have like a whole big cup of coffee in the morning, like strong, and then I like go to Sprouts and get like a yerba mate, and I remember like by the time like if I do that and I'm just like working on stuff on the computer, by like again like 1 or 2, I'm not okay. Like it's weird. Like I don't like freak out. I'm just like you're just so jittery and everything's just like everything's being processed too quickly. Like you can't. It's no bueno.
For
So
quick
bueno.
reference, yerba mate is like this tea that we all drink, or
Guac,
I
though.
used to drink,
Yeah.
and it's just like I have like crazy amounts of caffeine. Like one can of it or one bottle of it has like
140.
which is like 5 cups of coffee worth, like of espresso.
Yeah. But it doesn't affect you the same way for some
No,
reason.
I've
Yeah.
even slammed it without even knowing it had caffeine in it, and I slammed one of them. I felt great.
Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah.
don't freaking come off of it though, because like I'm telling you, I had 2 days where I didn't drink any caffeine after I was drinking like yerba mate
Yeah,
every
if you do
day.
Nothing.
I was just like such a bad mindset. Felt so shitty. Had a horrible headache just because like I was like withdrawal from
Oh,
caffeine.
that's
basically.
what happened.
Yeah, you gotta wean yourself off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had come down from the caffeine high,
Yeah, you're
and
probably
I was
not
like,
feeling good.
yeah, I wanted to crawl into a corner.
You were so weird that
And
day.
write sad
that
songs.
night, you
Jake
were
and I,
so weird.
Jake and I
was
were like running around. We're like, what is wrong with Saunj? I'm a little worried.
he was like, you were like watching the opener guy, and you're just like,
Oh, I wasn't a big fan either.
you're
But
just right. It was two things, but you were just very, you're just staring angrily at everything. You're like, and I was like, you okay, man? You're like, I'm fine.
Everything's
Fine.
good.
I'm like, no, you're not. I'm gonna walk away
like
now.
somebody watched Saunj
Yeah.
Someone make sure he's all right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
checking
saying?
for knives.
All right, Jake, what's going on in your house right now?
They're replacing a water heater in our like crawl space under our kitchen, which is directly over there. This is actually a really crazy story. I'm gonna get into it.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
It's insane.
It's long. You told me
So-
yesterday, right? Is
Yeah.
that
So,
thing? Yeah.
well, my girlfriend Jade and I woke up. What was it on Sunday? It was on Sunday, and we had no hot water. And she of course freaks out because she has to work in like an hour. we figure it out. And so she just opts to not take the shower. And I was like, oh, I'll check on the water heater. So I jumped down there. It's like in this crawl space, just in a hole in the bottom of our kitchen. It's so bizarre. And jumped down there. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's off. And so I try to do the lighter, the pilot thing. It's not working. So I call Saunj over here, and he's like, yeah, dude, I don't know. Maybe this box needs to be replaced. So that was the same day. And then Monday, we call your wife's father, right?
Yeah.
Chris, your father-in-law.
Yeah.
And isn't he like
he's a state inspector.
A state inspector for things. He comes down there and he's like, yeah, your pilot light's out. You probably have to replace the electronic box, but I can't touch any of that because it's in violation of so many codes. I'm
crazy.
Like, what? He's like, yeah, it's like 3 or 4 codes. Like if that had a leak, your house would have blown up. And I was like, fuck, that's awful. So finally, 2 days of no hot water, we call the management company, which is who we rent from. And they're like, and then they tell the owner, and so we get someone to come out, and the guy's like, same. I mean, it just becomes like the same story over and over. So this is the 3rd day, and the guy's like, yeah, that needs to get out of there now. And it's in a 40-gallon. Like it's enormous.
it's huge.
It's a person.
Like when I looked down there, I
pictures
couldn't.
of it.
It was like, there's no way to get this out.
Right,
Like the
it
house was built around this water heater. Like, I was
It
certain
is
of
the foundation of this home.
The first thing laid into the earth of this home was the water heater.
So those guys were like, yeah, we need a tankless heater down there. And so then they told and again, it's so many like bounces of people. Like we have to tell the management company that has to tell the owner who lives out of the country, so he doesn't reply to 6-10 hours sometimes. Then they tell they tell the management company that then tells us. So it's just like, dude, it takes forever. There's all this like bureaucratic like things we have to jump through to get anything fixed. And that's why we're trying to fix it ourselves. So then the 3rd guy comes, he's like, yeah, you need to put a tankless thing down there or something because we can't touch it. Otherwise they become liable. And if something goes wrong, like we could fix that thing for like $400, but then if it blows up, we're screwed. So like, okay, they tell the management company, and the landlord or the guy who owns the house didn't like the quote. He was like, I want a second opinion.
Man.
So yesterday, these guys came out here. Shout out to Dominic though, he's good, good guy. Lobos
He's
Tech,
here right
he's
now.
down there working on it.
He's working right now.
Currently laying
he
concrete.
said like, okay, I can do it, and I guess he had done work on this house before, so he actually knows the owner. So he's like, yeah, we'll do this. And so it took like 4 people to look at the water heater to figure it out. And basically at the end of the day, it was like, yeah, this could explode the house if there's a leak. So we're not going to replace it. We're going to fix it. We're going to replace it with a new water heater. And so short story long, this is our 5th day without hot water at the house.
And you smell great.
Oh, thank you. Well, I went up to Jade's parents yesterday and I took a shower. So, cause it had been 5 days until yesterday. Yeah. Cause I only take like maybe 2 showers a week max.
Man.
Max.
about
I
right.
that's me and Marcus. We're just like,
All right.
how many do you think? Like, how many do you think you take a week showers?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't.
Just whenever I start feeling kind of oily, I'm like, all right. I'm oily
Well, I think
now.
it's better for your hair, as they say,
It
like
is.
to
It
not
is.
wash.
true.
To not wash. Your
Well,
hair.
that's the thing.
Probably
Though.
better for your skin too.
I take a shower every day, but I like wash
Same.
my body, but I don't wash my hair every day. I wash my hair like every 2-3 days.
I wash my beard every day, but I
Yeah.
don't wash my.
Yeah, I don't wash my
Rinse
my
it.
hair. My hair's so nice.
Yeah.
And luxurious, so.
Yeah, I would say you two are definitely the more groomed of the group
Yeah.
for sure. You guys have like
Yeah.
a more like the hair thing. Marcus and I are like, yeah, we just kind of show up how
Some
we
days
are.
I don't even look in a mirror. I'm just like, there could be like something on my face, like I would never know.
He's done with mirrors. He's not about the mirror life. But
Vanity.
yeah, water heater replaced.
What did we just do? It's kind of funny. It's just like
So we just
What did
helped him
Saunj just do?
pull a gigantic water heater out of
the tank.
this crazy whole I got a picture of it if we want to like throw it in here.
You got a
Yeah.
picture of it?
Yeah,
I
you
got a
did.
picture
Yeah,
of
we'll
it.
throw it up. I'll
It's
throw it in
huge.
the video.
So
Freaking
it took all
massive.
4 of us to pull it out. Him also pushing
but
from
mostly
underneath.
Saunj.
Every
Yeah.
time I would pull on it, it would just stay there. I'm like, all right.
It was
well.
terrifying,
It's
dude.
so heavy.
It was freaky. But now they're pouring cement down there because it needs to. Because it
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
it was on
in the
dirt.
It was just on dirt.
Yeah.
Water
Which was
heater
why it was
on
so
dirt.
dangerous, and there's not enough
Just like-
ventilation down there for gas, which is nice. It'll be all electric. So
Yeah.
they're running a wire from one end of the house over and then back down through the hole over there. 75 feet of wire cable
Christ.
to get it power. Yeah.
It's kind of okay. Wait, this is like completely off topic, but I feel like we've gone through the water heater thing. But I don't know why this is on my mind. But you guys, okay? Have you ever been like, this is so random, but this has happened to me last night, and this is why I was thinking about it.
so random.
Shut the fuck up. Anyways, we're So if you ever have you ever been like laying in bed
Yeah, I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, okay,
Never.
cool. All right, now that we got that groundwork
Staring
laid,
in the
okay,
sky.
so you're laying in bed and you have a fan on, and like you can like the fan is like blowing like your leg hair, your arm hair, like just any kind of hair around your body, and then like kind of brush past like your skin, and then it feels like a bug, and you just like slap yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah,
last
all
night
night.
for some, yeah, I was gonna say last
like-
night for some reason, just
Like that.
all night I was doing that. I was like so like I could barely sleep
Paranoid
just because I
about it.
thought like there was bugs all over me because of
Oh,
how bad it
man,
was.
that's
Because it was really hot, and like I had the fan on full blast and it was just like blowing my fucking leg hair and shit everywhere.
Those are like my night terrors, bro.
Dude, honestly,
Like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night thinking like, well, I'll have these dreams about bugs just crawling all over me, and I'll wake up and like,
Ooh.
all right, well, turn on the light, like,
dude,
gotta
I
kill all
have
these
to tell
bugs.
a story about that then. If we're gonna get in the fucking bugs while you're sleeping thing,
Yeah, that's
fuck,
just
it's just
scary.
so bad.
Is it the spider fight?
Oh, the spider fight's funny too, but no, the this is a different one. I'll tell the
Spider fight's good.
The spider fight's really good. No. Anyways, so I'm laying in bed. This is like a couple years ago. I'm just like laying in bed,
Naked?
chilling. Huh?
Naked.
Obviously, of course.
Goes without saying.
Goes without saying. So watch out, dude. You got my cord. So no, anyways, I'm just laying in bed, about to go to sleep, and then I feel like there's this thing on my shoulder, just like a little tickle. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, what's that? And then it, like, I was like, okay, whatever. And then because it crawls in my shirt and I don't feel anything, and it crawls down my arm a little bit more. I'm like, okay, what is that? I flick it off, turn my light on as fast as I can, and it's a freaking centipede.
Of course.
Yeah,
I knew that's how it
I knew
was
it was gonna be
going.
centipede, and it's just like rolling around on my floor. I'm like, Jesus Christ! And I like jump out of bed, and, like run out of my room, close my door. I'm like, okay, wait, what do I do now? So I like go get my mom at this point. I'm like, what the fuck should we do about this thing? Because like I can't. Those things are poisonous potentially. You know what I mean? Like
Find
that's
your shoes, man.
literally dangerous. Well, no, that's the thing. I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna go in and kill it. So we, grab whatever, like shoes or whatever we had in a book, and go back into my room and like look for it, and we can't friggin' find it.
Oh.
And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
and then at that point,
Rookie
I just,
mistake.
I just slept in the
Centipede
couch at that point
Oh,
because I couldn't do the. Oh God, centipedes,
Man.
bro.
Do you guys ever find it?
No, it's just gone.
It's still there planning its revenge.
Yeah, dude. It's like that kid flicked me off his arm one time. And
I'm gonna get
Oh.
him.
I'm gonna get him now.
Dude,
kid.
I had something similar happen to me. I was laying on the floor and then I felt something on my face, like crawling up my face, and I went like that, and I threw it off. I was like, I really hope that's not a centipede. And I look over, and it's like up like that,
Yeah.
crawling towards me,
Yeah.
hissing at me.
That's what they
like,
do.
right here to my
like-
face.
It's like a fucking cobra. Think of a cobra.
Yeah.
Cobra
Is that
that's
going?
That's literally what a centipede
Attack
does.
mode.
Just
You're like,
thinking
so
I'm
about
totally
it.
gonna kill you, and you're like, dude.
Yeah, I used my man hand and just.
Smash.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little bitch though. So
So do you guys know the like weird nights that's happened to Jay and I in the past, right? I told you guys about the dogs, right?
Yeah, in the fountain.
Yeah, so something happened 2 nights ago too that I gotta talk about.
Yes.
So
go.
so a couple months ago, to start the story,
I like how this story starts.
so a couple months ago, Jade and I
Okay, it's a
wake
couple
up
months
at
ago.
like 3
Oh, no,
in
never mind.
like 3 in the morning. And all the dogs are gone. We have 3 dogs, and they were all.
Wait, before you do,
Jesus.
I thought there was some naked moon dancing happening that day.
No. Jade, you're talking about Jade having her friends over, and then they wanted a naked moon dance.
Oh.
I don't think it ever
Oh,
transpired.
They
They
wanted
wanted
it
to.
happen.
I thought it happened.
The only reason I
better
bourbon the
story.
microphone with that is because of Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl did that at Wembley Stadium.
Really?
He was playing a show at Wembley. He just goes, in the middle of it. That was funny. Sorry.
We just lost 5 listeners.
Yeah, right. That was really intense. Okay, so a couple months ago, we wake up, all the dogs are gone. Usually at least 2 of them are sleeping in the bed with us. So Jade's like, boys. And they don't reply. So she finally gets up and looks out into our backyard right here and sees all 3 dogs in a circle around our fountain. We have like a tiny little stone fountain out there staring into the sky. Just like not
Dude.
listening and not even like even acknowledging that she was shouting at them. Like she was saying, boys, come in. So we were like, what the fuck are they staring at? And so she shouted like 4 or 5 more times. They finally came running back. And then she told me, I'm like, that's weird. I didn't see it. Jade saw it. I was like, that's super weird. I'm super tired. I hate being waken up in the middle of the night. So I was
Yeah,
like,
we
okay,
know.
whatever. Yeah,
Right.
I'm a monster.
Don't
if I'm
wake
woken
Jade.
up. I'm a monster. And so that was weird. That happened. We're like, that's so bizarre. And then it kept happening when like the boys would like run outside at like 3 or 4 in the morning, which is like the like most like the craziest hour of just like silence in the world. So like
Yeah.
weird things are happening. I feel like at that time. And having a couple more times, but like nothing that bad, but like usually one or two would be out there just doing something. But fucking two nights ago, two of the dogs were in, or we were babysitting a dog right now. So the three were in, but Bruce, our little black puppy, which was in the first episode, he, like, Jade wakes up to him going like, ah! There's like a really loud yelp outside, like a really high pitched something or another. And wait. Sorry, I have to go back even further. So 2 nights before that night, and the weirdest thing is after a couple weird occurrences, we slept totally fine for like a month, like 3 or 4 weeks, and then 2 nights, and then the night before that, sorry, get my story straight. It's like it's weird because it's in a weird like twilight hour of your day. You know what I mean? It's weird, like 3-4 in the mornings when this shit's happening. So it's kind of like remember which night. The dogs are outside and we just all got woken up again, and then I hear like, again, I can't tell if it's like half in a dream, half happening, but I got woken up by something and I hear like a Phew! Just like a perfect like sing. Like it sounded like if something like hit like a crystal and it was like sing. And I kept thinking about, and you know, obviously we're musicians. We're in a band called the High Vibes, hashtag the High Vibes Hour. And so we're in a band. So like I listen to sound a lot, and I also audio engineer and produce our music. So I'm really familiar with sound, and so I couldn't stop getting out of my head how weird the sound was, even if I was hallucinating it or if I heard it out here, because I've hallucinated like parts of songs in dreams before, and they're always like whatever, like they make sense. There's like guitars or whatever. And this was like this weird like I was like, but it was like this weird like perfect amount of time. I don't know, I started like feeling like it was like this weird like ratio of like Fibonacci, and just like I don't know, my brain started like going crazy about this perfect sound I heard.
It's
I know,
like Bill Lazar shit right here.
Yeah, Bob Lazar. I know it sounds weird, but I was just like, that's a weird. It was just a weird like do that. And I was like, it was a perfect amount of time, like 3.33 repeating seconds. I don't know, but I was fixated on that for like 30 minutes before I fell asleep. Again, really weird, middle of the night. And then 2 nights ago, Bruce was outside and he made that noise, and then about like maybe like 10 minutes later, Jade and I start hearing dead silent, our AC is off, or everything's up, we start hearing just like like a rotating oscillating thing, and she's like, what's that, do you hear that? And I'm like, yeah, what is that? And she's like, I don't know. And then like goes away.
Whoa.
And then she like it went away once she like stood outside and looked out the window, and then it stopped. Then she came back to bed, and then maybe like a couple more minutes ago, and that one goes really long, and we're just like, what the fuck? And it happens one more time, and I'm like, fuck this shit. So I walk into the living room and I turn on the AC and blast it so it's super loud, like so I can't hear anything. And then I don't think it happened again, but it was dead silent in the middle of the night, and just heard this like, and this is after Bruce had made this weird noise outside by himself. What the fuck's happening?
That is weird.
We're getting waking up at like the middle of the night. I'm just saying, I had to tell a story. It's so, but again, I don't know. It's just some sound. It could have been something. Like I want the rational. I want the easily explained. But like I don't know what that is.
But you also want to storm Area 51.
Yeah. Oh, I'm down. I'm down.
Storm Area 51.
Hashtag
We'll
storm area 51.
go play music for the people storming.
We should go sell waters there.
Let's go set up on a legal line, get like a generator, and just like play some music for them. Okay, while you're getting ready for that's actually not a bad idea.
Getting shot.
How far away is that from us?
Oh, she's actually fucking
8 hours to Nevada.
End of September.
I don't
We're
think we have
already going to
anything
be on
booked.
that side.
Right?
We're already going to be
Yeah.
in Puerto Penasco. We should go.
Just like on our way back.
Definitely out of the way. But
On our way back, hit up Area
But wait,
51
we need like a
peeps.
PA and stuff, and we're not taking a PA to Mexico.
Oh,
No, we're not. Thankfully.
That would
Right.
suck.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I've just been dealing with some
Whoa.
weird shit at night, man.
That's
Haven't
really
been, haven't been
weird.
sleeping well.
What's going on in your life, Marcus? I haven't heard anything from you.
Oh man.
Oh, he's going to a
Not
festival.
much. Yeah, I'm going to a Rise festival. Makes these guys sad. I just bought 40 glow sticks, and I have an 8-person tent that's shaped like a yurt. You can stand up in.
Whoa.
It's freaking
That's
awesome.
So we're
dope.
set
It's
for
gonna be
camping
dope.
if we need to camp
Oh yeah,
when we're playing
It's gonna be
shows.
straight glamping.
Glamping.
8-person tent. That's nice. So
Yeah.
can you stand up in it?
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I also got like the disco ball and the disco lights and everything.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
so
can take a
dope.
picture of that
gonna
setup
be
and
fun.
send it.
Yeah.
So why did we all groan when he said arise?
I don't want to talk
because,
about it. We're not.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be awesome, bro.
We
happy
almost
for you.
got in there, and then the people made a bad decision and put somebody much worse. than us in.
It was
sad,
it wasn't an informed decision, Arise.
It was.
Stairs of the camera.
No, okay. Well, so Arise had a competition, Arise Festival in Loveland. It's in Loveland.
This is a big music
Yeah,
A
yeah.
pretty big
festival.
music festival in Colorado, and they had like a competition, and any artists or bands could submit to this competition. There's like 220 some entries, and you had to get votes, and whoever got the most votes in the top 10 people who got the most votes went to the next round, and essentially just were judged by the extremely vague and air quotes music industry professionals. Got to pick out of those top 10.
We're just slightly salty. If you
Yeah, we're a
can't
little
tell.
salty of it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think we were like we were like third or second most votes for that thing.
Yeah.
And again, so then three of those 10 got picked, and so it's a pretty good
But like
percentage.
the
we did.
number one, you knew that was like a robot because she was out of East Jesus
yeah,
nowhere.
Yeah, she was somewhere
had
in
like no
Central
followers on
America,
Facebook or
Quetzal Taco
Instagram.
Tenango.
and it was like 10 times more than anyone else's vote. So it was a little
Yeah, she
Yeah.
a
had
little
Fish.
she found a way to rig
suspicious.
that.
But didn't
Yeah.
she actually get picked though?
She
She got
did.
picked.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she that
She
shit got
legitimately
picked.
got
Yeah,
picked.
she's playing it.
One woman, a cello, and a looper,
No,
and some
not even
keyboard and stuff.
A looper that gets played out of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I don't know if
yeah.
she actually plays the cello, but she has a picture of her.
No,
with
no,
one.
she plays the cello
Okay.
live. She
Okay.
she builds like the sound, but anyways, yeah, it's fine. It's fine, Arise.
Whatever.
We'll
You guys
we'll
can do it.
we'll
Maybe
accept
next
it.
time.
Maybe next year you'll ask us and it'll be fine. But
We should shut
But
up
Marcus
the
is
dogs.
gonna have. Who are you most excited to see?
Dude, Sun Squabby and Beats Antique is gonna be pretty awesome.
Silent Squabby.
Sun Squabby, like
Sun
sun,
Squabby.
Of course.
and like Squabby.
Sun Squabby.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Squabby.
Like everyone
Like
knows
what you had
squash.
for
bro.
lunch earlier today. You
Squanch.
Squanch, bro.
Squanch, bro.
Squanch
Girl
is.
Squabby. Oh, it's gonna be great.
That's sweet, man. And,
In the
and,
land
you're
of
going
love,
with
Loveland.
Tyler.
Yeah, going with Tyler.
The man
you
with the
driving separate.
unicorn tattoo.
yeah.
It's like
That
That
dude.
should be his name.
And
Isn't
we
that
need to add a
Tyler?
few more
Yeah,
It's a
why the
man with
fuck
the
are we calling
unicorn
him Tyler?
tattoo.
You going 3 nights? 3 days? Did you leave tomorrow?
2. I was gonna stay 3 nights. Couldn't get work off Monday, so I got to come back Sunday.
Ooh.
I'm gonna miss Meadow Mountain playing. I was really looking forward to that. They're friends of mine, so yeah.
Where are
Oh,
they
well.
playing?
Arise.
They're playing at Arise.
Playing Arise.
Oh, I
They're
thought
playing-
they were playing somewhere.
They're playing like a 6 p.m. set too, so like they're one of
That
the
sounds
Whoa.
pretty good.
Sad,
one.
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, that's
But
I
on a
didn't realize
Sunday,
they
so
were
when like everybody's leaving, I don't know.
Yeah, Sunday.
All the
They have
people.
to
at
Would you
work
say?
work
Would you say
Monday.
Yeah.
Saturday night's probably the best slot?
That's when Sun Squabby and Beats Antique
And
are going.
Friday.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
the biggest bands there, maybe.
It's probably
They're
Saturday
one of the,
nights.
Beats Antique, I think. is-
Because think about it, with the music festival, if it's that big, most people, not most, but a good percentage of people need to be back home on Monday
yeah,
to work. So like
Exactly.
Saturday's probably peak. Friday's good. When I saw,
right. Saturday's peak.
I went to Outside Lands in San Francisco when I was 18 or 19, and it was the headliners. Friday was Arctic Monkeys, which was cool.
Nice.
Whoa.
Love
And I
Arctic
saw
Monkeys.
Group Love earlier that day.
Oh, nice.
So they were great. And then Saturday it was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Nice.
And then Sunday it was the Killers.
That's the
Screw
fucking.
that.
It was a
Damn.
savage
I'm just
lineup,
kidding.
dude. Like
Wow.
the one ticket was worth just them. And obviously you're seeing bands like from noon till that time. But I guess thinking about it, obviously Tom Petty is bigger or was bigger than the Killers. So Saturday's
yeah.
the like
Yeah.
coveted. I never thought Saturday's the
Yeah.
coveted slot of a music festival. The headlining of Saturday.
sure.
They're the biggers.
Yeah.
So
That's the big day.
what happened with Woodstock 50?
Dude, I don't know. I was just listening to the radio this morning, and they're saying the people in New York, like in the area, they really didn't want it to happen. Like they're petitioning against, like, this isn't good. I don't know why it's not good for their business.
That would
That
be
doesn't
like-
make any sense.
yeah.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
I didn't really dig
hundreds of
into it. I didn't
thousands
read
of
an
people?
article. But it's like just what I remember. Like, yeah, they're like, we don't want that in our environment. Like, it caused a lot of issues last time in '99. Like, it just,
Right.
we don't want it. And so they tried to relocate Woodstock somewhere else, and they didn't want them.
I feel like
so
you
they're just
can't
like, screw
relocate
it.
Woodstock.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be a Woodstock, New York.
Because
but
Yeah.
you said that,
all
and
of a
then
sudden call it like
yeah.
Motown. It's
Well, this is the second time.
Wait, where's it going?
it's not going anywhere.
It's done.
They tried to move it, and where they tried to move it, nobody wanted it.
They
so
have the
they
most.
just gave up on
they
it.
had the most ridiculous lineup I've ever seen.
That,
from
well,
a
Yeah.
the reason it's
festival,
funny because you texted that, and then I had saw a headline like Miley Cyrus drops out of Woodstock 50, so I clicked on that, and it said, but I didn't realize it. They were like, the Killers had already dropped out, Jay-Z had already dropped out, Santana dropped out, the Doobie
Damn.
Brothers dropped out. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like But yeah, because they needed to relocate it, and essentially what I think happened, from what I read this little article, is that because the location got changed, anyone that was, because all those people were obviously signed on, they had legal obligations to come, it became void. It became the contract became invalid because it wasn't what they had signed. It had now, the terms had now changed because they wouldn't be performing in the original place, which is like why it was historic and shit. So I think they're getting kind of, well, there's so many pre-orders.
They probably weren't getting paid much anyway compared to their regular shows.
Well, I think the thing I read, they said that it was turning into a like a charity event. Too.
That's good though.
Yeah. So it's being moved. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's officially canceled, but I thought maybe if you read something different.
I read that it was. I saw headlines that it was canceled
and
too.
So, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But for the 50th, that kind of sucks.
That's really sucks. 50th anniversary.
50th anniversary.
So it's just not going to happen.
The golden.
Yeah. Maybe we should go throw our own Woodstock up there.
There we go.
Yo, okay,
High
listen.
Vibes. Just bring like a trailer and just make a stage on a trailer. And
You're invited, Cherry Glazer.
Cherry Glazer.
Yeah, we should hit them up.
Shout out to Clementine. Shout out to Clementine.
They were nice people.
They were nice.
No, that's what we're shouting them out, bro.
Super nice.
Yeah,
people.
they were awesome because
Yeah,
they were
we love that.
I said it wrong.
they were supposed to play.
You
Totally
Yeah.
say it wrong. Your inflections
Don't you
were
guys remember?
weird.
Like we were looking.
They
we
were supposed
looking,
to play it.
Yeah, we were looking at the lineup when we were in
Yeah.
Alamos at the Battle of the Bands for Woodstock, and we were like, because it's like so ridiculous. And we scroll down, and I think it was just us two originally, right? And I was like,
Yeah. Like
fucking Cherry Glazer.
And we'd never heard of them before.
well, but no, the
Yeah.
thing is, we knew that we were playing with them
Right.
at the
Yeah.
end of May
Yeah.
for this like thing in this like festival thing in Santa Fe, and they were headlining it. We knew we were opening for them, and we were like, "What the fuck? They're
That is
playing
so weird.
Woodstock."
They
Yeah.
tore it up though. I mean, they were
they-
freaking badass.
Yeah. They did a good
Well,
job.
I brought it up, and I said, "Oh, you guys are going to play Woodstock this year. That's awesome." And then even Clementine, the lead singer, she was like, "Yeah, I mean, like if it happens, like
whoa,
you could
she
tell
already
she was
knew.
kind of." She was
already
like,
already,
she's like, I don't know. She wasn't like, yeah, we're stoked. She was like, if it happens. So it probably had already started. I mean, I imagine
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
the trouble behind the scenes already started before like
Sure.
they got
Long
out to
time
the
ago.
public or were written about. But it's interesting that kind of fell through because 99 was like, yeah. And we are back.
yeah.
We are not. No, it's fine.
Nah.
We are not recording over the first half.
Definitely didn't just happen.
And the new
Yeah.
water heater is in the ground. Dominic needed our help to get it down there. What?
Bigger
were we
than the
talking
last
about?
one.
It's
I
a
have
little bit bigger than the last one.
No
yeah.
idea what we're
We
talking
were
about.
talking about Cherry Glazer playing Woodstock.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I think
kind of
that's-
ended though.
No, they're not.
I think we're done with that.
Yeah, that one,
yeah.
we hit the end of the tracks there.
it's not going
It's a
anywhere.
phrase I just came up with.
Want to hear the spider fight story?
Spider.
No, not really.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's
Go
pretty
for it.
fun.
Go
you
for it.
might have heard it. It's
Go
pretty
for
funny.
it, bro.
It'll lead
Go
into other
spider fight. Go for it.
spider fight story. This is also a couple years ago, and okay, so this is also a couple years ago, and I was working at this place called Joseph's, which is a restaurant downtown Santa Fe at this point. Really nice restaurant. Joseph's, and I'm staying at my mom's at the moment, and I go over to my dad's
You're
downtown,
cut off.
just like before going to work. I'm like, okay, just get ready for work, whatever, yada yada yada. I walk out the front door, and I notice this massive spider just sitting in the corner of like my little entryway, because we have like a little entryway before you go into the house.
What kind of spider was it?
And I'm like,
Massive.
what the, fuck? Because it's huge. And I look at it a little closer. I get a little closer to it just like to check it out. It's a black widow, like the big red hourglass on its back. And I was-
Oh man.
yeah. So I was like, yikes. Got to deal with that because it's inside. There's dogs. There's like, if the dogs just if it happened to find its way inside and the dogs got to it, it would bite that because they would mess with it and then kill the dogs. But so I was like, okay, I have to deal with this before I go just in case. And I call my dad first off and just like, hey, what should I do about this? And he's like, oh, just kill it. I was like, oh, okay. So me being thanks. And so I don't know why, but I'm a little bitch when it comes to these kinds of things. Seriously, a little bitch when it comes to these kinds of things. And so like,
Skihead.
I am. I'm like, I don't want to fucking die. And
That's all.
yeah, exactly. And I go inside And I'm like, okay, what should I do? So I grab like wooden pasta spoons. I'm gonna like stab it to death. That's what was my thought process. I was like, okay, I'm also gonna get some gloves in case it like crawls on me.
You're
I'm
bad with bugs.
No, I'm so bad at the bugs.
So you had like oven mitts on?
I did. I had like oven mitts on with freaking like pasta spoons in my hand. And no, I'm wearing like really nice black clothes as well because I'm about to go to work. And I walk outside. I'm like, all right, let's go, motherfucker. So then like I start like just jabbing at it, then it runs away. I'm like, fuck! And like I was just chasing after it, smacking it with the spoon, and eventually I get it and I hit it enough to where it dies, but it takes like 3 or 4 smacks before I can kill that motherfucker.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay, I really got to go to work at this point. So I go to work, come back later, and then like a week later, there's this like spider web that was left over that we never cleaned up from it. But then, and it had like, I didn't think of anything, and then I walk out the door one day, and there's just like these tiny little specks all over it. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever told you this part of this one. Yeah.
No, you haven't.
And there's these little specks all over it, and I immediately like,
no.
even like right now, I have the chills thinking about it because of how bad it was. It's
Wow.
like, oh, that's weird.
Whoa,
And
the
I just leave. I come back.
specks.
I'm like, hey, like talk to my dad. I'm like, hey, have you seen that? And he's like, nah, it's probably fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then a little while later, I'm like, hey, we should probably clean that up because I'm worried that's spider eggs, and not just spider eggs, black widow eggs. And well, we're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just, so we grab a shop vac and we go out in the little courtyard thing and, start, vacuuming up the spider eggs. And as soon as we do that, just millions of, like, thousands fucking of spiders just start crawling everywhere, little baby spiders. And my dad, I'm like, I fucking like bolt. I'm like, dude, I'm getting out of here, fuck that. My dad's like stuck there with the vacuum, like sucking up all these tiny little black
Wasn't I
widows.
living with you when
Yeah,
this
you were.
happened?
You were.
I was living. Yeah,
You were.
I remember you guys freaking out. I was like, "What's happening?"
Yeah,
outside?
we were like fucking what the, like we were going crazy because like none of us expected. I was worried about that. I was like, what if those are spider eggs? And black widow eggs, because that was the spider that was like sitting in there and made this web.
no, yeah.
So thousands and thousands of little tiny black widows just all over the place, and we're like sucking them up with the vacuum, which was horrible.
Yeah.
And it
Oh
was
my God.
so it
That's
just like
so
chilled. I
terrifying.
like
It's
Yeah.
terrifying
right now.
It's like
Spiders. Once they, I've
my
always been
gosh,
afraid,
dude.
like, okay, now you're in the vacuum. You're gonna crawl back out.
That's
at
what
some
I'm
point.
worried about too. But I think they
Yeah.
die.
Is
Is it not, if they
probably-
die, and
Maybe
they
the
go through there?
suction hopefully like
the
kills them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The
No,
suction
why
kills
would they
them.
die?
The suction.
I don't know. The other
know.
day, my Roomba like picked up a bunch of ants, and I pulled the thing out and saw them all crawling in there. I was like, I'm taking this outside.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. But
Yeah.
we haven't
well,
seen
Roomba's not as powerful as a normal
Spider
vacuum.
fight.
If this was a
Yeah.
shop
No
vac
shredder
too,
on the
it was like
inside.
Oh yeah.
real-
Well, I
Yeah.
just
It's a
don't know.
vacuum on one end.
it's a big boy vacuum.
Yeah, but it's a vacuum on one end, and then this hole, and then the hose. So it just sucks them in there.
Right, but I'm just thinking like them
I don't
like
think it kills 'em.
flying through the thing, and they're, I mean, like, dude,
I don't
they're
think it's
tiny.
gonna
little
kill 'em, man.
fetus,
right.
little spider
Straw.
feet eye.
Feet,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
They're getting
Spider
slammed
eye.
against like a bunch of walls at like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, maybe if they're
Well,
tiny.
they're-
Maybe if they're like
they're
fully grown and
equivalent.
stuff. Maybe that.
Yeah,
maybe they
they
weren't.
could probably
but
survive
dude,
it.
Have you heard
that's
that? Have you
spider
heard? I
fight.
feel I told you that the squirrel thing too, with like when I was trying to go to work that one day. There was a
No.
squirrel.
You fought a squirrel.
Yeah, no, I didn't fight a squirrel, but there was.
Squirrel.
I think you were living with us.
Squirrel
No,
fight?
no, this was while Samaya, my dad was still dating Samaya.
Oh no, then
No,
not
so you
at
weren't
all.
living with us at
Yeah.
all. This is a funny one too. It's the same situation where I'm like trying to go to work, and I'm sitting in my room and just like on my computer or whatever. Nobody's home. It's like about to leave 4:00, and little lead up to this is like my dad's like, hey, there's something in the house that crawls through the chimney, and I was like, okay, a little concerning, but okay.
Not Santa.
Because
Santa.
we saw these little like footprints all over the place of ash because we knew it like was in the chimney. These little ash footprints were all over the place.
Yeah,
And we were like
makes sense.
raccoon, squirrel, mouse, I don't know, whatever, because they're like that typical little like rodent footprint. And so I'm just chilling in my room or whatever, and I noticed that had been in there because there was like a little bit of like poop or whatever that it leaves all over the place. So I clean that up. I'm like, all right, whatever.
little bit of poop.
It's probably
little
fine.
poop.
It's probably fine. And
Sprinkled some presents.
Was it wait? Was it like little Easter egg poops or
Yeah,
was
dude.
it little
Yeah,
tiny
little tiny
pebble
little
poops?
pebbles.
Good
Yeah,
thing you
they
didn't
really-
have squirrel diarrhea. That's the
Oh,
worst.
God.
Squirrel
Oh
diarrhea.
yeah. Yeah.
I got some case of
deal with that a lot.
SD. Squirrel diarrhea. So you find the poopy in the house.
Anyways, I find that in my room. Like, oh, whatever. Okay, I clean that up. I'm just chilling. And then I get up and I have to get black socks, my black pants, everything. So I go over to my sock drawer.
Because you're emo.
No, because I'm going to work at Joseph's. Black tar.
Black tie.
So you're wearing all black going to work.
Well, back
Going
to
to
work.
yeah.
Joseph's.
So I go over to my sock drawer because I'm going to grab some black socks before going to Joseph's. And I open it up, and the fucking squirrel jumps out at me.
Whoa.
Wow.
No, yeah,
Wow.
Fights you.
Huh?
And
It
fights you.
basically fights me. No, it jumps out at me. And I like jump out of the way. I fucking dodge out of the way because the squirrel is just like flying. Because I noticed it was like slightly cracked, and it must have just like, oh, that's a nice cozy warm place. There's a squirrel in my sock drawer in my dresser.
Oh,
You know exactly like where it was in my before I moved rooms in the other room. Yeah, there's a squirrel fucking sitting in that goddamn drawer. It jumps out at me. I'm like, ah! I fucking run out of the room and close my door. And I know like it jumped and like ran behind like a bookshelf or something like that. And I like very slowly open the door again and like look for it and like peek around. I see its little motherfucking head right like looking at me from behind this like, the bookshelf. And I close the door again. I'm like, okay, I have to go to work in 5 minutes. I don't have my socks. I don't have my shoes, and I need to grab my shirt still.
So you grab your oven mitts and
So I
your
grab
wooden
my oven
spoon.
mitts and we fucking go in there. No, my wooden spoon.
My wooden spoon. The squirrel. And I smashed it.
Let's go. And no, so
Squirrel. Dead squirrel.
I basically make like a little like fucking bolt into my room as fast as I possibly like shut the door behind me so it doesn't run out. Run to my room as fast as I can. Grab the socks, grab the shirt, grab the pants, run out of my room. Like call. At this point, I'm like manic because I'm like, what the hell? And I also didn't know it was a squirrel because I could only see its head. You know what I mean? It could have been anything at that point. I don't know what it was. Rat could have been. Like that's disgusting. But I mean, squirrel's disgusting too. But rats, like
Dude,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah. Big ass.
So you got all your stuff?
yeah, I got all my stuff and I went to work and I called my dad. I'm like, dude, it's in my room. It's in my room. The squirrel's in my room or whatever's in my room. And he's like, oh fuck. And eventually he just like, I'm not with him at that point. I'm with my mom still, and he takes like just an animal trap and puts it in there with some peanut butter for a couple days, and it goes and eats the peanut butter and traps itself, and we let it out. But Jesus,
That'd be terrifying.
in my sock drawer, and it
Yeah.
just jumps out at me.
Jeez.
It's kind of stuff that just sticks with you for
It
life.
does.
Right
I'm
there.
never gonna forget that fucking memory.
The squirrel.
It was insane.
Squirrel attack, dude.
Man, like when there's like a spider on your face, like the rest of your life, every now and then you're like.
Yeah.
I was at work once. Like it's when I first started working where I'm at, and
LabCorp.
Yeah. So like I'm in a lab. I'm dealing with like contaminated material. So like if I feel a tickle on my face, I can't just touch my face. I have these gloves on and stuff. So I'm just like sit there, just like trying to like use my peripheral vision, see if it's there. And I brought it up to a coworker. It's like, man, we should get a mirror in here so we can see if there's like a spider on our face. And he was like, is that like a normal thing for you? Because I think there's some deeper psychological issues going on.
There's
Like,
spiders on my face way too frequently, sir.
like 1 out of 1,000 times there's actually a spider there, but I want to know.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
And now I have like this salt gun that it's a little gun I bought for $40. Cock it. It's like a shotgun, but it shoots salt.
Oh,
And yeah, I've not
Wait,
shot
why
a
do you
person
have
yet
it?
with it. Because there's some freaky spiders out of my house every now and then. And sometimes like I'm allergic to bees and we have like some hornets hanging out. So a hornet will be in the house and I'm just like psh, shoot the hornet. Or if it's I let daddy longlegs live all day, but like if it's like a brown recluse or something, I just like pull it out. So I don't have to like chase it down with a freaking wooden spoon. I can pull out my salt gun and just fire salt at it.
Fire salt and then fire some over his shoulder.
Yeah, just to make sure-
Superstition.
So yeah, Justin, you got to get yourself a salt gun.
Yeah, just
I've
let me
never
know where
even-
yours is, Marcus.
I've never
I'll
even
just-
heard of a salt
yeah.
gun.
Dude,
Are they
They're so
They're
convenient.
brutal.
They hurt?
yeah, they do.
You've been shot with one?
No, I've seen people shot with them.
Oh,
Why would I get shot with them?
I mean,
man?
once I shot a moth when I first got it just to test it out, and the moth just went, and I was like, where'd it go? It just
Oh my god.
It
like
is
shot
been
to
It's just like a
smithereens.
shotgun with salt, essentially.
Yeah.
That's
you gotta
How-
just
how
cock
big
It's
is it?
Spring powered. It's like this long, but it's spring powered, so you never have to load it with anything other than refill it with salt.
Oh.
So
And I've probably
interesting.
shot it like 50 times on just its first like load of salt. So
So the salt, but when you hit the thing, the salt just goes everywhere, and you had to like. clean it
yeah,
up,
yeah. Like
or-
once I shot it, and there's some cardboard, and I heard like just like a rain of salt coming down after I shot the spider up on the ceiling.
I want to get that for flies.
Yeah, that's actually what it's made for. It's got pictures of flies all over it.
Really?
So, but I've been
It's like
using
the
it.
funnest way to kill a fly. I got it. I'll be letting him
got
go all
it.
the time.
When I was 12 years old, a hornet came into my house, and all I had was a BB gun because this thing hadn't been invented yet. So I like got point blank with the BB gun. It's just like a 50-minute process. Finally got close and just pulled the trigger.
Jeez.
I was like, wait, I could have smashed it, could have caught it with a jar. I just wanted to make sure it was dead. I was freaking paranoid of like yellow jackets, hornets,
You're
and
allergic
stuff.
to them, right?
Yeah, I was stung once and my whole arm
Yeah.
swelled up.
Oh my God.
So,
So you're hyper allergic to that
Yeah.
stuff.
Do you have like
Yeah.
the EpiPen and all that?
nah,
for-
I should probably get around to that.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I was
They're
thinking about
expensive.
telling a doctor.
Did
for free.
has Delilah healed okay?
She's doing all right. She got into a fight with Tyler's dog last week,
Oh.
and
unicorn
the-
tattoo.
and the
Yep.
one wound she has like got opened back up because this dog's a healer, half healer, so it went straight for her leg. And I was like, and like it was just because I bought my dog a bag of dog food, and his dog's like so overprotective of food. Like they've gotten along for years, and then all of a sudden, like my dog was walking to smell the dog food, and his dog like jumped on her, attacked her. And Tyler's like, my dog should beat your dog up. I was like, dude, your dog's ear's bleeding really bad.
Ooh,
Delilah's
what
beefy, dude.
What kind of?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I met Tyler's dog briefly. What kind of dog
Yeah.
is she?
It's
She's bigger.
husky mixed with husky healer mix. So it's
Oh.
probably 70-pound dog, and mine's like
Yeah.
90.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
Delilah's
I just
big.
met Delilah
Yeah.
like yesterday, and she's
She's-
fucking beefy.
she's
Yeah,
ripped.
She's not just
huge.
like, it's not just a big dog. She's like muscular.
Yeah.
She's a thug dog. She has
yeah,
to
she's
be.
straight up
Yeah.
thug. Especially with her chain on, makes her look bigger.
She's sweet.
But
though.
yeah, big
She's
old
super
pit
sweet.
bull, just mixed with maybe Rhodesian Ridgeback. Pretty good mix to
course.
have. But super sweet dog to humans. Would never hurt a child. Like I've seen kids like she's chewing on a bone, and this one kid pulled it out of her mouth and smacked her in the face, and she was just like, oh.
But-
And it just
but-
kept on getting smacked in the face, and I had to tell the kid like, hey, stop doing that.
So it's funny, but like other dogs, she's like not a.
Oh
she's-
yeah,
she's
she
like,
wants to
doesn't
kill
fuck
him right
with
away.
She's
I got her from a shelter, so I couldn't really train her as a puppy to
right.
like.
How old
play
was
with
she when
other
you got her
dogs.
from the shelter?
I'm gonna guess 4, but nobody knows.
Because
She's probably 12 now.
Because Jade and I's dogs, well, Bruno, who he wasn't in the last, he didn't come in here, but he's this big, like he's like a bear.
He looks
dog.
like a black bear.
Looks like a black
A little
bear,
mini black bear.
not quite as big, but he's a big dog, quite as big as a bear. But and no vet, Jade has taken him to like 3 or 4 vets, and they have no idea what he is. Like you'd have to get a DNA test to figure out what he is.
Yeah.
He's huge, and he hates kids. He fucking hates kids. Like a lot we had a birthday party for Jade, and one of her coworkers, she has like a 3-year-old, 2.5-year-old girl, and Bruno just like about an hour into the party just bit her face.
Whoa,
Oh,
really?
damn.
Bit her in the face.
You didn't tell us about this.
Yeah, like I mean, it wasn't like a
Gosh.
big deal. She didn't like bleed a lot, but
a lot.
A lot.
But he bit her. Like I think she was just petting him, but again, I guess she's 2.5. I don't know how she was petting him. I remember hearing him going, and I hear like when she's like, a little girl like squealing, and yeah, she had like a cut on her face for a couple weeks. So like it's weird though. But he just doesn't like little kids. Once you get to a certain height, he doesn't.
Once you're
he
taller
doesn't
than
fuck
him, he
with
knows
you.
you're a human. and
Right,
not
once
a
he knows,
cat.
but like when you're tiny, it freaks him out, and I don't know what that is, but with like again, it's just a weird thing. Like some dogs are great with humans and not good with other dogs, and some dogs are great with dogs and not great with
He's
humans.
sizist.
What?
He doesn't like.
Sizist.
He doesn't like little people.
He's a
the only
sizist.
answer.
Yeah, he doesn't like little
Marcus,
people.
tell Marcus.
Oh,
I'll give you
I
an
don't
intro
know.
for
Alright,
yourself.
It's
No,
not
no.
a PC joke.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Not
It's
a
so
PC
good.
joke.
But even Bojangles, you guys, Bojangles doesn't like little people. Bojangles is like
Bojangles is the sweetest.
the
He's
sweetest,
so
cutest
cute.
dog. He's like this big. He's I can't remember. He's like a lasso, lassie.
I don't know.
Lasso and a Shih Tzu mix.
Looks like a piece of shit.
How could you say that?
A Lassie
I'm
Shih Tzu.
offended. You just
He's a
said
Shih
that.
Tzu.
Jangles is so
He's
cute.
I'm
He's
so-
a Shih Tzu.
And,
Bojangles is my favorite.
I
dude.
was sitting on the couch with Aniela, which is Jade's niece, and she's 3, and she was like sitting right next to me on the couch, and Bojangles was sitting like on my side, and she went to go pet him, and he started being like, so like showing his teeth, and Jade is like, Jake, you gotta stop. I'm like, stop what? Because I didn't really see it. I didn't understand it. And she's like, get your hand away from Aniela. Like he's gonna like bite her. And so like Bojangles was just like growling at Aniela, and I guess he doesn't like little people too. And then like of course Aniela's like, she's 3, but she's like hyper. What are you laughing at?
We just keep setting him up for this joke, but
I was setting
but
up
it's
for
not a good joke. It is a great.
It is a funny joke, Marcus. You gotta catch his stand-up sets at Chili Line.
Chili Line Depot.
He's
Another
a
one together.
funny
Shout
motherfucker.
out, he's funny.
Marcus.
I will ask you at the end of this podcast to play us out when we hit the end with your grandmother joke.
Oh God.
Yes.
Will you do the grandmother
so
joke at the
bad.
end?
Okay.
Okay.
Sick.
We're not there yet, but
I kind of like my gender fluid joke though.
they're both great. You can do both of them. I love
Do both.
the grandmother is like a show ender though.
Yeah,
like,
it's
an ender.
funny. It's great.
So I'm sitting with Daniela and she's like hyper intelligent and like sensitive. Like earlier today, I was like, oh, she's like, I have an owie on my knee, and I was like, oh, how'd you get that? She goes, I fell off the stairs yesterday. She's 3 years old and she's just like so smart. And her brother, like I love Rue, but Rue's not with the English language yet, and they're twins. There's 3-year-old twins, so it's bizarre to see Rue be like "Ada deba, dada mama," and then Daniela's like, "I fell off the stairs yesterday, like it really hurt me." Like she's like full sentences and cognitive, like she has noun, verbs, and like like when it happened, in her brain, and so she's really intelligent. And so after like Bojangles went to go attack her, she was just like, Can I go sit with Jade now? Like she was so sensitive. She like didn't want to be there because Bojangles was like aggressive towards her, even though he didn't bite her.
Which, by the way, Bojangles is like this big.
Yeah, he's so
super
tiny.
dog.
She's like, I'm not welcome here anymore. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna leave. So it's just like it's weird. Dogs are great.
funny.
I never had a dog growing up. Because both my parents, I haven't talked about this, right? I didn't talk about it yesterday. Both my parents had like 7 or 6 dogs each growing up. My parents are both from a huge family. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if any of you guys, you know this? You know it. You know it. You're my cousin. Yeah. So, yeah, right? Yeah, your dad's my mom's brother. So, my mom's side, his dad's side, there's 7 siblings. So there's like 40 kids.
So many of us.
And it comes from like Catholic origins. So they just multiply like bunnies.
Condoms.
And I'm the youngest of all of the first cousins.
Yeah. Which is
And
crazy.
he's his third
I'm
youngest.
the third youngest, with my sister being. Dude, I'm gonna try to get Paige on the podcast.
Yeah,
next week,
that'd
my
be so
sister.
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
make
God,
her do
that
it. We
could
should
be
try to
horrible.
do it next week and
That'd
have
be
her on
sick.
there.
Yeah.
Well, that could be horrible.
That'd be horrible. Sarge, just look at his face. If you're watching this right now, he goes, scroll back and look at Sarge's face.
He goes, Christmas came early this year.
Wait, should we give a little reference to that or no?
He gives me a lot of shit about my sister.
We just,
Well,
What it
I
is.
just rag on you.
He
'cause
rags
she's-
on
I
me,
was
so-
talking
he's
to you
super
about it.
protective about his sister.
Yeah,
He's the
it's
big
my
brother.
turn.
Like I went,
and we just make jokes about it all the time.
Yeah, and I went and asked. I was like, because like I don't know, some guy was like flirting with her at a show, and I was like, oh, is Chelsea? Like, well, I just said like, oh, they make a cute couple, and you're like, she's lesbian. And I was like,
No,
oh,
I didn't.
You said aggressively.
No.
lesbian.
Oh yeah, I did.
You did say that. I was
And
there.
then after I was like, you know who else makes a good couple? Chelsea and Jesus. Like that too.
right. You want her to join a nunnery.
Yeah, she's a nun.
You're like Chelsea and Jesus. You're right. That was your retort. Is Chelsea and Jesus. I was like, oh, okay. But so my parents have a really big family. Wait, where was I going with this?
Dogs.
Sisters?
Never had a dog.
Oh,
Never had a dog.
dogs.
Yeah. So my mom and his dad are from a family of 7. So there's like 40 of them, and then my dad's a one of 5 children. So they all had dogs their whole lives. They had like 10 dogs growing up, and so when my mom and dad got together, they were finally like, when we have a family, no dogs ever. No dogs ever. So I was like, and when you're like gets a certain age, you're like, I want a dog. Like Chrissy down the street has a dog. Like Joseph has a dog. I want a dog. And they're just like, no, you get a cat and that's it. So we had a cat, and he was great. Mickey was cool, but like it's different. And then when I got with Jade, and Bojangles was with us full time, and then her friend took Bojangles back, we got Bruce, a little puppy, and like, dude, maybe a little over dramatic, but like it changed me a little bit. Like it really affected me. I'm like, this is because we got him when he was like a month and a half old.
So cute.
So it's just like this thing. Like I know, and you have 2 and a third on the way, and you have a child. So it's probably amplified by like 100, I'm sure. But I'm just like, I have to fucking like make sure this thing's alive. I gotta take care of this like other being. I know it's like minimal compared to like a child, but like, dude. It was so great to have him because Jade kind of surprised me with Bruce, and I love him to death. But you know what I need to ask you guys? Your children's birth stories.
Wait. Let's finish this off. There's a
I
funny
tell a
little
story.
Oh God.
Actually, were you there when Shoshana was born?
No.
Oh.
Okay, you don't
I
have
mean,
a
I
story
could
then.
have been, but it was just easier to see her the next day because her mom didn't want any men around. So
All right,
like,
we'll get into that.
Could have
Yeah,
been there.
I want to hear
Wait,
yours,
wait,
but what were you going to
real
say? I want to
fast.
get into that because that's weird.
That's weird. That's really funky. Anyways, no, this is my favorite part about the whole Jake never having a dog thing is moving into my house for the first time with my puppy Ash, and Jake just didn't know how to handle a dog. It is so funny. And my dog's like notoriously bad with food. Like he will just like jump up on counters. Like you really can't stop him. We've tried training him to no end, and you just can't stop him. You really can't. And it's the funniest thing because every time Jake would make food for the first like month and a half, Ash would get it.
He would eat it.
He would eat it.
I would turn around and be gone.
Yeah, and sometimes
cook.
Yeah,
Food.
and like it's really funny because he buys really expensive veggie burgers, and Ash would usually eat like 1 or 2 out of the 3 package. You know.
There's only 2 in a pack.
Yeah, he'd eat 1 or 2.
And they're like $10, and he would eat one.
I think it's time for Marcus's joke now.
We don't have to end it.
No, we're good.
Oh, we don't?
Just keep
Oh,
going.
okay.
We don't have to.
but
We
it's
can just
so
talk.
hard.
We can talk as long. We can
Alright,
talk as
alright.
long. I want to hear the birth stories.
Let's hear the birth stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stories.
Unless you got a dip. Like if
Well,
you,
no,
if you
like-
have to leave, we can make.
So my first child,
here we go.
yeah, Christy, like, so I was like, she was already having her contractions the night before, like but they were really far apart. I was all like, all right, so let me know when they're getting close. Like I will stay up with you during them, but they were like one every like 2-3 hours or some shit like that. So then I wake up the next morning, I was like, where's Christy? And so I walk into the living room.
What?
And my wife is the sweetest thing you'll ever meet, and she's also
savage though.
Oh, she's savage. Yes.
Her
Her
jokes.
jokes,
jokes are
her
savage.
one-liners, they're so
But
good.
she's so like quiet and sweet, and then she'll just like hit you with a joke, and you're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
that killed me."
Anyways, story.
So you go in the living room,
And high pain tolerance, like crazy high.
Yeah.
So we go into so I go into the living room, and she's in there just like, in pain, like just
By herself?
By herself. It's like, what's going on? She's like, oh, I'm having contractions. It's like, I thought you were gonna wake me up. She's like, I wanted you to sleep. It's like, what? I was like, when did they start? At midnight. It's like, how far apart are they? About 4 minutes. It's like,
Oh my
we gotta
God.
go.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, this was like 8 in the morning, so we get over there to the hospital. Sandro would have been a water baby, but they were like, no, we got to speed this process up. So they, a water baby is when you're born with your inside of the
Yeah,
thingamajigger. I don't know what it's called. I don't know anatomy.
whatever. Yeah,
inside what?
The
Womb?
the casing. The like, what do you call it?
I don't know. When my
Oh my goodness. The placenta and all
my
that
visual
shit.
knowledge of birth is like Lord of the Rings when they rip the orc out of the thing. Like,
No, wait.
peeling away. Like that's what I think in my head as a baby's like, out of the, like the skin like flesh bubble. But go ahead.
Well, the sac. The,
Yeah, the
the
sac.
birth sac. I
Right,
don't know
yeah.
what it is.
Canal. Yeah.
So she was in that.
No.
He was
So
in
they
that?
so they had to cut it open, and then all of a sudden, like, it was like he was coming. So like, I don't know. She was in labor for like maybe an hour after that,
Oh,
if
wow.
that. But like when she was like the intensity, I don't know the intensity of having birth, but
Yeah.
like it was super hardcore, and she was just like no sound, nothing, no medication or anything. She refuses. She like she's all about like she won't take ibuprofen. She won't take anything. So like every time she'd have a contraction and like be kind of squeezing my hand, she'd be like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to squeeze your hand. So I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, yell.
You're like, I gotta do
You're
something.
giving a-
something.
You're giving fucking birth over
yeah,
here.
dude. Like the friggin' most intense pain.
Right? So then,
Oh.
Sandro comes and I'm there holding him, and her mom is like, her mom and I are just holding him. She's like, can I see him? I was like, oh shit. Like we were there for like 5 minutes holding the baby, looking at this brand new baby. Like, oh yeah, and then I got to cut the cord, but I wanted to use my pocket knife, but they said no.
They're like,
It's like,
that's
why
probably not
not?
sterile.
It's like we don't know.
I wiped it on my pants. Like, it's good.
I'm sure it's.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's
good.
really intense. That's funny
Got the
though.
good old
Like
pants
4
wipe.
minutes apart.
Yeah,
Jesus.
she's hardcore.
Wow.
Same thing kind of happened with the second one, except she had back labor, which is like everything like your sciatic and everything is just like in flame during this whole process. So it's like someone's just like putting a torch to your back while you're having these
Ugh.
contractions that are already a pain in the ass. So,
Jesus.
Dang.
yeah, but I don't remember that one as much. I was tired.
What time were they born? What time was
Sandra was
Sandra?
born at 12:12
In the morning or
in the morning.
Like, so wait, in the morning or like noon?
Noon,
Not
yeah,
AM.
not
PM.
AM, yeah, PM. 12.
So that was a nice comfortable time.
Yeah,
What about
and
Zachy?
Zachy was 8:01 on Thanksgiving.
Oh,
8:01 a.m.
okay.
So yeah, we were up the whole night.
Yeah, that would be a bad.
It was
up to night
rough,
one.
and then we couldn't get food. We couldn't get anything. Like they were
Right.
skeleton staff because it
Everything
was Thanksgiving.
closed. I didn't realize his birthday was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
So
Cool.
so it's Thanksgiving every year.
No.
It's
Because
it's
he
always
was a
the last
turkey
Thursday of
baby.
the month, so
Yeah.
it's just depending.
Okay,
on the,
so it
yeah.
changes. That
Changes
was
all
that
the
was a
time.
stupid question.
Yeah, just a little.
That's interesting though. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Brooks, yeah, we want to talk about how you guys got the babies.
Marcus,
Yeah.
you're a weird
Yeah,
ass
but-
story.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on over here?
No,
Can we
it's-
tell the full story?
No. Actually, I'm just gonna end it with.
I gotta put my foot
She was born at 10:46
He's like,
p.m.
no, fuck this.
on Thursday the 12th, 2012. So like, she was about an hour and 15 minutes away from Friday the 13th baby.
Oh,
And she was like, no, I'm not doing that, and just like came out after mom being in labor for like 4 hours. So yeah, I'm glad she wasn't Friday the 13th because I'm a little superstitious. Like my first kiss was on Friday the 13th. That girlfriend ended up being horrible. I broke my car down Friday the 13th. My first car accident was Friday the 13th.
Oh, so you got like Friday the 13th karma.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I got some karma. It went away over the years after I stopped thinking about it. Yeah.
that's probably why it went
right.
away.
Yeah. I probably have bad things happen on that day all the time, and I'm just like, life sucks every day.
All right,
It's
so
just
you
as
want
shitty
to
as
play
normal.
us out with part of your comedy routine?
Okay.
Just this joke.
Yeah, I'll just give the grandma joke. I've got a lot of jokes, guys, but some of them are pretty horrible, actually.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes I write jokes. I just want to say, like, I'll write jokes and store them in my phone, and then, like, look at them the next day. I'm like, I think I get what I was getting there, and I'll reword it. But sometimes I'm like, that's not funny at all. That's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I just, like, delete it. And I bet a lot of comedians go through that. They're just like, what the
Right.
fuck was I must have been really high or
Same with
something. I don't know.
songs.
Like, what?
Right.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah,
sit
songs,
down.
too.
We're like,
Oh, it was great, and then never.
And
You're
then
like, that was
tomorrow
fucking
you're like,
horrible.
That was a bad song.
anyways, go ahead and joke.
Okay, yeah. So this is a story about when I was 16. I was staying at my grandma's house in Denver for about 2 weeks. And she's, okay, if you don't know, I'm half Jewish. She's completely Jewish. And she's no longer alive. So, but she's such a sweet lady, like, rest in peace. But I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but she is a Holocaust survivor. And so she had been through that. And, like, you know, tough time, but she ended up making it to America, living in Denver, and so I was in Denver visiting her, and she's like the most anal woman I've ever met. Like, she like puts sticky notes saying like, these are paper towels, and there's paper towels right there. I'm like, Grandma, why do you have a sticky note saying paper towels in front of the obvious paper towels? Like, if this was in Braille, that would make sense, just in case the person didn't reach far enough, the blind guy, but whatever. So she's explaining to me her refrigerator, and like, she's like, all right, cheese goes in the cheese drawer, and she's got that all labeled too. And like, she's like, and the milk goes here where it says milk. And I'm like, yeah, Grandma, whatever. I don't fucking care. I'm texting and stuff. And she's like, why aren't you paying attention? You kids, you never concentrate. Kids nowadays don't freaking concentrate. I'm like, easy for you to say, Grandma. You went to summer camp for that. And she was not happy.
Oh, God, fucking
And just
Christ.
stormed off. Yeah.
And we just lost the rest of our listeners.
So
gosh.
a lot of people say like
It's like
somebody's so
that joke
anal.
could go over some people's heads though.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's funny.
It's fine.
You went,
Don't
you
even
went to,
explain
you
it.
went to camp for that.
You'll
Grandma.
figure it
I
out.
always laugh when somebody says so and so anal. I think the worst things like my grandma's so anal.
It's
Like,
weird
whoa.
that anal will be like, can be casual, like that person's so, you know, particular about that thing, and it also means the obvious thing.
Yeah, Sanch's
It's
anal
weird
about
that
his
it-
yerba mate.
Right, he's
I'm
anal about the
very
yerba
anal.
mate, but then like it's the exact same word that kind of means the same thing, and you say it in a
Yeah.
different context, and it doesn't have
Well,
the
you
same.
know what
Yeah.
anal retentive
Yeah.
means, right?
What?
It's a psychology term.
Yeah. Yeah, children in the development stage, they go through these different stages. Like, phallic is like you want to put things in your mouth. I think that's what phallic is.
Yeah.
But anal is like
no,
when
no,
you're
it's
discovering.
not phallic.
Okay, like.
Phallic is dicks.
Oh yeah, phallic. There's like these different
it means it like
stages.
resembles one.
Yeah, different stages you go through in like in your
It's the
development.
suckling
and
is
anal
what you're
is like
talking about.
is like they realize they. Like
Jesus.
they're pooping and stuff. Like they realize that's going on.
Right.
And so if somebody's anal retentive, it means they don't want to let that stage start happening. So they want to hold on to something. They want to hold on to their shit.
To their poo poo.
So people can't let go of shit. It's because they're anal.
Yep.
Anal retentive. That's like where that comes from.
The origin of
Yeah.
being anal.
I took some psychology.
Oh, and
college.
on that amazing
Welcome to the High Vibes
the High
podcast.
Vibes
You know, the
podcast.
We learned about
phallic.
anal.
So we
I gotta
we're
go
gonna
Google the word phallic.
Suckle.
I'm gonna plug some
plug,
stuff right
plug.
here because we forgot to do it in the first podcast. The last and the first one is we put a song out once a month. This one's gonna be Up to You. We have 3 other singles out right now called Hey Hippie Daydream, Happy Daydream, Hippie Daydream, One Tribe, Sublime Sunshine. At the end of August, which it's August now, August 1st, we'll have the new song Up to You, so that'll be out. What's our next show? Our next show is the Skillet in Vegas,
August 9th.
August 9th in
Right
Vegas,
date.
New Mexico, not Nevada, unfortunately. That's
Yeah.
really far away.
One of these days.
And go on our website, thehighvibesmusic.com, and we have all of our tour dates. We have our music streaming there, and we have a music video. We're working on a new music video called Smile. Or the song's out, but we're working on the music video. So if you have any, if you want to listen to that song and take a video of you smiling to that song, that'd be great. We are the High Vibes. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Vibes.
The High Vibes.
Cool.
Ha.